Ladies and gentlemen, man, have I had a lot of requests for this video talking about the National Association of Realtors lawsuit that settled. So first and foremost, I guess just because I am a licensed agent, all that, these are just that normal disclaimer, guys. These are my opinions, not anyone else's. Wasn't in the courtroom, not in charge of anything. I don't even know who the president of the National Association of Realtors is. I don't even think they do. We had one, and then last year, he quit. A new one. He started. He did well. He lasted for about 4 months. That was pretty sweet. Banging. Nice job. Anyway, so this is going to be just my point of view. To get you up to speed, you guys probably heard about this. The plaintiffs in a lawsuit, they said the National Association of Realtors, the NAR, and several real estate brokerages, they alleged that they conspired to keep real estate agent commissions high. And now, if you guys know this, until July, how it stands right now is you list your house, and then as a seller, you're going to pay, let's say, 6%. 3% to the seller's agent, 3% to the buyer's agent. Man, is there a lot of misinformation going on right now. And I don't know if this thing is completely done yet. There's going to be a lot of changes. We have until July because there's a lot of things that could change and still go. So I'm actually sure this is going to be one of many videos. I'll try to keep the conspiracy theories down or kind of venture off into that. But there was a rule called the cooperative compensation rule, and that's where the seller would split the commissions with the buyers. So this is actually pretty cool because if you are a first-time home buyer, you get proper representation, right? So if I'm helping you out and you're a first-time home buyer, you don't actually have to pay me. My paycheck's coming from the seller. We just have to find you a house. We have to make it a good deal. I get to do all the negotiations for you. Literally everything. You're represented, I don't want to say like a lawyer, but you have representation in this transaction, right? Now, I know there's a lot of people who think real estate agents aren't needed and blah, 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 overpaid. We'll get into that. First of all, real quick, if you've never bought a home, what's an encroachment? What's just, there's a million things that people just don't know. They think it's as easy as, go buy a car off Craigslist. I state your name. Will buy this 2017 Volkswagen with this many miles for this much. Sign down below. That's it. No, there's a million other things that could go wrong. Are they selling you the right property? Are they there's just a ton, right? So there is a reason real estate agents do have a job. Now, this is the part where I get hated from both sides because, there's people that think real estate agents aren't needed. And then there's the real estate agents, they just hate me because I do think real estate agents are getting phased out. This is just the first part. Luckily, I have a bunch of other skill sets, so I'm just not that worried. And I do think a lot of real estate agents, if you're watching as a real estate agent, try to have more than one skill, okay? Try to just be useful in life. I love real estate, and I'll do it until it is an app, which, it's probably around the corner. Wait till you guys learn about the blockchain and how fast title can go into that. It'll be over with. Not to mention a lot of fraud would be over with, too. Anyway, as it stands right now, people, they're kind of dumb. Real estate agents, they spend their time, this is their career, doing so. Right now, there's 1.5 million agents in the United States. About 1.4 of them have no idea what they're doing. I'll at least agree with that. But there are some that are really good. And where this gets such a heated debate, the barrier to entry is next to nothing. Pay a couple fees, you pass a test. Now, a lot of people fail that test over and over again. I get it, but just in the grand scheme of things, you pass the test, you pay some fees. Don't get me wrong. Being an agent, the fees are the one thing I hate the most. It's absolutely stupid. The whole thing is just flawed and not built right. It's not efficient. For instance, to get your license, it's about 47,000 fees that are like $5, $35. Your dues are $500, and then there's annual fees, there's quarterly fees, there's monthly fees. It's just millions of fees. Like, just give me an account. Like, let's just set up an escrow account and everyone can pull from it. It's annoying, but anyway, neither here nor there. Because what's happening around now and what you're seeing a lot in the news is it finally got settled. And to bring it back around, you guys have probably heard a lot about they awarded who was it? The jury awarded the plaintiffs $1.8 billion with a B in damages, and a lot had stated that the judge could raise that amount to $5.3 billion, and then the NAR wanted to appeal the decision. So the judge, back then everyone was talking about, oh, could he ban the corporate? And the judge could ban the corporate compensation rule. Again, that is the seller's going to split the buyers and sellers' commissions. Again, if you're selling a house, let's pause here for a second, because a lot of people think now that this is gone, so you don't have to pay the buyers anymore. And at least come July, that 6% is not. You're going to list 3% on MLS for the seller's agent, and then that's it. That's just MLS. I don't think the commissions are going anywhere. And if you want to sell your house, do you really not want to pay a buyer's commission? Now think about that. How interested in selling that house are you? And how resourceful are you? Because do you need an agent? No. So are agents useless? No, you don't need one. And real estate commissions have literally always been negotiable, right? It's not really a law or rule that says 6%. It was just more common practice. You could negotiate it, and just do it. And the fun fact about negotiating your commissions, so right now, and over the course of my career of being a real estate agent or just having my license, I've watched people almost blacklist houses. Now, this is, you want to talk about petty. Give you the inside scoop here. If the house is listed for, let's say you just can't explain your value to the agent or to the homeowner, right? And you want to sell your house for they're going to pay 5% total. Now, typically in that transaction, it's fine. If I was a seller, I would take 2% and the buyer's agent would still get 3%. There are, we'll call them new agents, that will split it 2-5, 2-5. I've even seen some take the 3% and pay the buyers 2%. And then they really get curious why no one shows up to view that house. Agents, again, maybe it's because they're bad apples, or I'm not here to debate that, but I've seen it. Which is why I've never wanted to jack with it. I've always paid the buyer's agents full. And why wouldn't you? Make that transaction happen. 100% of nothing is still nothing. But yeah, they would see their compensation is 2.5% and just not show the house. They're busy. Don't have time. Let's go look at another house. Happens all the time. So as a homeowner now, if you're going to go sell your house, they didn't just go away. Just some things to think about. Again, we have until July, so there's a few months. I might make a whole video saying everything I said in this video was wrong or has changed. There's a lot of debugging that's going to have to happen. So right now, home buyers, as it stands, they're going to start paying their own agents. And they wanted to make it a point that real estate commissions could be negotiated down. All right. Does anybody in here know what they're doing or what they're even talking about? That was silly. Okay, so, right now the buyers, they get representation now paid for the seller. There's one rule here. One thing, when I say there's changes coming up, we don't know. And as far as discrimination goes, shout out to all the vets. Now, if you're a veteran in the United States, you'll know this all too well, right? You like to just get shit on. That's what you like. That's why you guys serve. You go overseas, you do all the work. When you come back to get some of that freedom, what is it? Good luck with the health insurance. All the fun stuff. You do get to flash that card and get like a 10% discount at some places. That's pretty cool. Thank you for your services. Thanks for losing your legs. Cool. Now, as one more thing, VA buyers, you can't pay commissions right now. It has to come from the seller. VA is like a VA loan. You cannot pay the buyer's agent. So I guess we're just VA guys, just no more buying a house. Sweet. Like I said, if you're a veteran, this is nothing new. This is nothing new. I don't know why it is this way, by the way. That absolutely sucks. Now, what this rule did change is you can't put compensation on MLS. That'll just be all the other websites. Again, if you want to sell your house, you're probably still going to have to pay the buyer's agent. That would be my guess as it stands right now. So they're decoupling it from MLS, the multiple listing service. Now, the Department of Justice argued that the buyer's commission should be negotiable, and the NAR agreed. Yeah. That's like arguing is water wet. Someone said, hey, if I spray that, it's wet. And the other guy's like, yeah, it makes sense. Tough case. All right, so currently the buyer's agent commissions is negotiated between the listing agent and seller. Okay? And then included in the listing price. Sweet. I don't get why that was such an issue. The buyer wants to argue about how much they want to. They're not paying. So, yes, I guess with the new verbiage, if you're going to start paying the buyer's agent, it's not going to be a 3% or nothing. It's going to be negotiable. Some ideas even I've had for that, because if you just can't afford 3%, and you guys know me, I'm in the market of risk, stock market. And a lot of this got brought up because we'll talk about. Actually, I have it up right now. Let's Zillow. Zillow's down a lot. People ask me, what's going on in the real estate world? Is this a buy? All this. And I don't know yet. I think we need to let the dust settle on this one. There's some things to think about. Do I want to be a buyer's agent, or do I want to consult for a little bit? You go out, float around, look for houses. When you have questions, instead of paying me one lump sum for the whole deal, you just pay an hourly, like a lawyer. Hey, that's gonna take me 2 hours. Name one lawyer that's actually spent 2 hours on that. It's 15 minutes. Anyway, some things like that. I think that's how a lot of things might evolve, which I think would be. I think it would be cool. Hey, you go do your thing, and then when you lock in a house, when you lock in anything, let me know, and maybe for a fee, we walk you through it. We double check the pricing for you. Hey, you got a decent head on your shoulders. Yep, that price makes sense. Yes, that is the land you're paying for. Here's what I would look out for. Here are some red flags, just to fill in the blanks that you don't already know. And if you were a buyer's, if you were to, we're technically just 1099 employees anyway, so we're all contractors. But you could almost, the more you work, the more you get paid kind of thing. Hey, double check it. Yeah, it looks good. You filled in the blanks like I did. Banging. A million more questions, going to cost you $1 million more. I would like that. On the argument of do real estate agents get paid more than they should or a lot? And I've been so back and forth on this. If you talk to anybody selling houses that are worth millions, man, real estate agents do make a lot. And for those of you guys that aren't in the real estate industry and you just watch HDTV, this is probably where a lot of your thoughts come from, as in real estate agents make too much. Because you saw on HDTV that the guy, he breeds hamsters. He has a house for sale. Or he wants to go buy a house, and his budget's $1.5 million, and the real estate agent made $45,000 in commissions. Right? $45,000 for what he did, and for the guy that breeds hamsters. Congrats. It's a TV show. Okay, I've even been on them, but stop the garbage. My personal thoughts on this are maybe introduce a cap, because here's the real world scenario of this. If you're buying $1 million house, it's likely not your first house. It's not your first rodeo. You kind of know your way around things. There's they can be outside of any outliers, some of the easier transactions. Okay. You do your normal work. There's all the normal stuff, right? And I hate to say it, did you need $50,000 to do that? No. More than likely not. Don't bring up some like one outlier case. But you get into some of the cheaper homes, and I hate to say it, cheaper homes, idiot agents, just people that don't know what they're doing. There is a lot of work involved in that. That's what sucks. Anyway, there's just some you do most of your work on all the new stuff where people need the help the most. This is actually going to affect them the most. I'm trying not to go too ADD on this. I had a couple notes of I've already deviated from that quite a bit. Again, there's gonna be a few videos, but just I'm getting 9 million questions, so I wanted to sit down and record something. But as far as getting paid too much, there are times you just don't get paid enough. You sell a cheaper house, like where I live, you sell a $200,000 house. The person has no idea what they're doing, which is fine. You got to spend a lot of time explaining it. There's a lot of brand new agents that also have no idea what they're doing. So myself, I've had to do the work of both sides on just stuff I wish would just go away. I genuinely like it, but there are times it gets a lot of work, and it's paying for that. It's paying for those outliers. Kind of like if you ever notice how much a security guard gets paid in a prison. You get paid a lot, and you're just standing around all day. Literally just standing. Curious why you don't have a chair. You don't get paid for what you're doing. You get paid for what could happen, right? The risk involved. Agents, we have insurance for various things. It keeps discrimination out. There's a lot of things that agents do help with and do. And that's where I think the argument is drawn. All right. So anyway, so to the people that believe home prices will go down because of this change, I don't know if you've been under a rock or in La La Land or what. But let's just pretend for an instance you had a house. You don't, if you say that, because I know you don't. Not a single homeowner thinks this, but people have said this. I'm just going to assume they rent. They think the prices will go down because of this change, because they don't have to pay as much in commissions, so now they don't have to sell their house for as much. No, that you're on crack. Okay? If I told you your house is going to sell for $500,000, but I charge 6%, all right, you deduct that. There you go. Hey, your house is going to sell for $500,000, but now I can actually lower my cost to 3%. You think you want to list it for something cheaper? No, the seller's going to say, sweet, I get to keep that much. I get to keep that much more money. Banging. So let's just stop that right now. If we could just all collectively come together and stop saying that, that'd be sweet. Anyway, okay, so right now, buyers will likely have to pay for their own, this is one of my notes, buyers will likely have to pay for their own representation on top of the asking price. Yeah, that's sweet. So you saved a whole bunch for your down payment. Oh, but now you want to do you want to get the fair representation, you want to do it all, save just a little bit more. Good job. Keep going. You're doing good. What's a few more years of saving? Oh, that weird inflation thing and how your money just doesn't go up and your boss doesn't give you a raise? That's awkward. Take it up with him. Anyway, call me when you got money. It's going to screw up. This really screws any brand new investors or first-time buyers. Man, does the little guy just get crapped on. Yeah. First of all, the big guys, they're just going to absorb most of this. The rich will get richer, like the big will get bigger. And the small ones, they'll go away. 1.5 million agents, let's see how many we have next year. It's going to actually take work. There's some truth to the gravy train that some agents can't be on. And if you've put in that time, you've done the grind work, and you have built yourself up to be a reputable person, yeah, you got the business flowing in. Will this affect you? Yeah. Will it be absolutely life-changing? No. To the other agents that just paid their dues, got their license, and think they're going to be rolling in a G-Wagon, they're going away. That's a lot of agents. So, I don't know. This goes back to having all your eggs in one basket. I can't speak for those people because I have a million eggs in a million baskets. I couldn't even imagine what that would be like, only being good at one thing. Okay, so another issue, buyers trying to represent themselves you'll probably it'll turn into a cluster, and you might end up hiring an agent. You might try to lean on the seller's agent a little bit more. But that's like the car having problems, so you ask the car salesman how to fix it. I'll let you think about that one for a little bit. As a listing agent, if someone shows up to you and you're unrepresented, in my state, I could represent both, but there's very clear documentation that says, hey, I'm stepping out. I'm going to help you guys with the numbers, because as a seller's agent, I am supposed to get you the highest, best price ever. As a buyer's agent, I'm supposed to get you the best deal. We're going to take this thing to the dirt. That house costs $500. We're going to get it for $400. Or, since the Rona happened, that house costs $500. We're going to try to get it for under $650. Yeah. Have any kids you can give up? The Rona made things get crazy. So we just got one wrench out of the gear. So they just tossed another one in there. I don't know. That's where the sticky situations are going to come with. And that's why I didn't want to make this video so soon, but I'm just getting beat down with this. I'm going to have more as it evolves. I do want to make more videos about this, specifically stocks and how agents can combat this. But I don't know how I can actually represent a seller and a buyer and still complete my fiduciary responsibilities to both of them. Yeah, I'm going to get you the best price. I'm going to get you the best deal. What, do you just meet in the middle and we just shake hands? Do I just shake hands with myself and tell them, hey, that's a good deal for everyone around, please pay me? I don't know. This brings up more questions than it does answers. And I said I wouldn't get into the tinfoil hat theory of things, but it also begs the question of money. Now, the lawyers made a lot off of this, and they're just bouncing around from one lily pad to the next. They're going to make a killing. There's a lot of corruption, a lot of underhand deals, a lot of under-the-table deals, back-end deals. There's a lot of things about this that, in my world, being in stocks, knowing how much money runs things, looking into the future of how things are about to change, everything about this feels very, very much like a chess move more than it does the Department of Justice looking out for its people. I'm not buying it. I'm just not sold on that yet. Not even close. So I spend more time. Again, I have a million skills. I do real estate because I like it. I trade stocks for a living, which is why I'm actually kind of looking forward to helping buyers. But I'm spending more time looking at who's gaining from it, what will they stand to gain, and what's the next move. Because right now, it looks like the next move is going to be BlackRock is your landlord. Because the bigger companies, like I said, the big get bigger. They don't need a buyer's agent. They're going to come in and just scoop houses up left, right, front, and center. You are just going to not stop buying things. The people that just aren't educated, they're not going to be able to just go out and buy a house. It's going to encourage them more to just keep renting. There's a lot of fear-mongering as to why you should rent over buy. The numbers should always make sense regardless. I'm not going to get into that conversation. But as it stands right now, in my mind, I think this looks more like a hostile takeover from somebody who's paying somebody behind the scenes. I don't know. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm curious to hear everyone's thoughts down below. I kind of covered a little bit on everything, and I tried not to get too ADD on this, but I'm curious. And if you're going to give me your opinion down below, please tell me if you're an agent or not. And yeah, if you're not in the space at all, I don't care what you saw on Fox or CNN or whatever, like they kind of spun it to you on. I have better things to do with my time. But if you're like an agent, somebody in the space, or maybe just genuinely curious about something, post those comments down below, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.